You have to have a level of, I don't give a fuck. Because if you start to care what people think, then all of this is gonna go away.
The audience sees us as creatures, but we don't see ourselves as creatures.
Some people think it looks beautiful, some people don't, and that's the joy of beauty, you know? Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, they say, and some people have taste and others don't.
I want to see myself as an avatar. I want to just feel what it's like to feel like red skin.
Et si l'élégance, aujourd'hui, ça ressemblait à ça? Alors que dans les Fashion Week, la mode prend un tournant conservateur, avec un retour de la maigreur et des coupes sobres, des artistes défendent une beauté libérée de toutes les normes humaines. Créateurs, photographes et performeurs remodèlent leur apparence en s'inspirant du cinéma fantastique ou de la culture gothique. L'objectif, exprimer leur singularité, même dans ses facettes les plus sombres.
I think it all stemmed from this idea that we didn't really feel like we belonged in our environments and we didn't feel like we were understood, and there's a connection to sort of an alien-esque vision that we had that was linked to trying to understand what it meant to be human for us.
On a retrouvé les Canadiens Anna Rose Dalton et Steven Raj Bhaskaran en plein préparatif pour leur défilé automne-hiver 2026. Le duo, qui s'est rencontré en école de mode, a d'abord explosé sur Instagram avec ses looks dérangeants, avant de fonder sa marque au nom évocateur, Matières Fécales.
There's a lot of people around the world that really resonate with the brand name because I think people are tired of the bullshit in fashion, which is a space that is really all about perfection.
It does not mean something very pretty, but at the same time, I think what we like to show and what we believe is beauty is within everything.
Matières Fécales, c'est depuis 2025 une maison de couture installée à Paris, mais au départ, c'était plutôt des créations upcyclées, pensées contre le gaspillage dans la mode.
We were making everything ourselves. We were creating upcycled pieces. So we were taking things from the street even that we would see like in garbage cans or whatever. And, you know, we would wash it, transform it, deconstruct it, and turn maybe a leather jacket into like a beautiful couture dress. And in the end, to be honest, for us, we had to stop because it sort of limited our creativity.
Laura, how are you? Good to see you. Can I see you?
Yeah. A lot of structure.
Maybe also we can measure the bow proportion because it looks nice on her.
So maybe, Julia, if you can write that the actual fold of the bow is like 36.
36?
And then we'd need probably like times 2, 75.
Matières Fécales oscille entre des inspirations punk et des références très classiques.
Charles James, who is a really big influence in us, and he was also an architect, designer. He was an American couturier. A lot of the draping that he did was actually very similar to this. It was more straightforward, but we did kind of like a twist on that. So it's really taking sort of these codes of French couture and garment making, but also doing it in our way.
And this is like a technique that is always a part of our shows, this pleating technique.
You can extend, you can pull, you can distort. And it's really distortion that is our favorite tool to create.
Depuis ses débuts, le duo est proche de l'États-Unien Rick Owens, connu pour ses silhouettes androgynes et ses mises en scène quasi rituelles. Il s'inspire aussi de celui qu'on surnomme l'enfant terrible de la mode britannique, Alexander McQueen.
McQueen really also helped us see beauty in a different way and see fashion in a different way. I think that gave us the opportunity to understand that there is a way to create from this form of beauty.
And the darkness also. I think McQueen was really good at translating darkness into something beautiful.
The debut show is called The Other because that is how we've been perceived. That's how a lot of people who don't fit into society, that's how they're perceived and how they're treated, sort of dehumanized a little bit.
Pour incarner cette vision d'une beauté hors norme, Steven et Anna font défiler des mannequins, mais aussi leurs proches, artistes ou activistes.
This is who we are. The people that were on the run and our friends. They're our chosen family. Our perception of beauty really is limitless and also channels sort of the layers that maybe are more vulnerable for people that we find very beautiful.
Once you grow up with that amount of shame and that amount of othering, people make you feel like an alien, like you don't fit in. They make you feel like you're weird or different. I'm just expressing the feelings that the world made me feel.
Hello. No, I was.
I'm joking, come in.
You scared me.
I'm sorry.
Lewis G. Burton est DJ, musicienne, amie du duo Matières Fécales. C'est aussi une figure de la lutte pour les droits des personnes trans et intersexes au Royaume-Uni.
I get called mother quite a lot by the kids in the scene. I'm seen as quite a maternal figure to a lot of different people, queer and trans people here in London, across the world. I always love being pale because I'm a goth at heart. I'm a big, massive emo. A lot of people that I admired always had a pale face. And I was never allowed to be a goth and wear makeup when I was like in my teens, or like at least my early teens. So
Your parents didn't want you?
No, they stopped me from wearing makeup and listening to Marilyn Manson. So I guess that part of it is about reclaiming my teenagehood, my childhood.
Lewis a créé la soirée Queer Inferno, rendez-vous d'une nouvelle scène gothique londonienne qui préfère la techno au post-punk des années 1980 et qu'on vous a déjà présenté dans un épisode de Trax.
Growing up in Newcastle, where I'm from, especially in the 90s and early 2000s, there was no queer people on TV, no queer or trans people, and I think as a result of that, there was nobody in the village that I grew up in who was queer or trans, and I think just not having that visibility made me feel really alone and ashamed of who I was. It feels authentic for me because this is how the world made me feel growing up as a teenager. It's not like I'm putting on a costume.
Au-delà des shootings et des défilés, Steven et Anna ont fait de ce look d'alien un mode de vie et d'expression au quotidien.
The society in general sometimes sees it as non-human. I feel like for me, like I've always had an issue with that because it makes it seem like it's not real. It makes it seem like a creature is down here, a human is here.
Ce style reste minoritaire, mais il infuse dans la pop culture. La preuve, les chanteuses FKA Twigs et Lady Gaga sont habillées par Matières Fécales.
We had a huge following in the early days also, but nobody wanted to work with us or report on us or whatever because I think they didn't see it as beautiful. I think it was actually only through our social media power, which is true, the people who were adopting the same aesthetic as us. It was only seeing the power of that when I think people started connecting to that, which is totally understandable because it's new.
It's not like I'm just putting random things in a picture and posting it. I think there is beauty in the ugly, and I think it's just time for me to accept it fully.
Diffusée sur les réseaux sociaux, cette esthétique inspire des créateurs bien au-delà de la Fashion Week. Elle Deville, artiste portugaise installée à Southampton, en Grande-Bretagne, poste sur Instagram des autoportraits très retouchés et complètement surnaturels.
I was very restricted growing up. I was mostly in my room all the time. I wasn't hiding. I think that was my way to sort of prepare everyone for maybe someday if I start like doing what I really want, they won't be as shocked.
Like what?
Like now.
Elle Deville a édité son propre livre et posé pour un magazine de mode. Son petit ami l'aide à se préparer et prend les photos.
Seeing all my creatures like put together, it's a very like proud and surreal moment for me just because they're all me. I try to say something with each and every one of them. I don't even recognize myself when I look in the mirror. It's just, wow. You know, it takes me to another world. And that's the place that I like. It's that fairy tale that I try to create for me and for people, I think.
Is it a self-portrait?
No, I think before I did my makeup, I did a lot of creatures. And then I just thought, well, I'm gonna change the canvas, and instead of putting it on paper, I'm gonna try become them. I have Chihiro tattooed in my arm. Yeah. Because she was so lost in that world. And that's kind of how I've always felt. As a kid, it was definitely Miyazaki, like Spirited Away, Howl's the Moving Castle. Yeah. They were like key in growing up, I think. But then I quickly turned to like Tim Burton, to Guillermo del Toro. Okay.
What's the inspiration behind this look?
Just dark. I think dark lady.
Dark lady.
Yeah.
Like a countess?
Always a countess. I'm just letting another side of me come out. And I think the funny thing is like when I put these things on that people usually consider ugly or, you know, this is when I have to feel the most beautiful. Aww. Oh, that's so nice. Look at that. Fucking hell. I think every single creature that I have done has helped me somehow. Obviously, when you add the alienation, like the imposter syndrome, it's just like, I think that really comes out in my creatures, whether they don't have eyes, they don't have a mouth, you know, or they can be just the weirdest, because that's how I feel sometimes.
Sorry, it's always very slow going up the stairs for me. So this is our upcoming collection called the 1%.
Interestingly enough, I've been drawing Hannah even before I met her. So I've been drawing this like that since I was super young, since I was like 11. Hannah grew up in the most wealthiest neighborhood in Montreal, and I grew up in the poorest neighborhood in Montreal. This is actually my perspective of what wealth looked like from my environment. You know, I was growing up in like, we were living in low-income housing with my mom, who's a single POC woman, and there's cockroaches everywhere, and like all I had was my sketchbook. So when I met Hannah, she was like, I would say 90% a closeted freak. And then for me, I think it was like 90% I was putting myself out there, but maybe there was a 10% of me that was restricted. It was clear that we had the same intention and we were soulmates.
Okie dokie. Well, we should introduce Gabriel. So Gabriel is our hair master, and for some reason you did hair and it just worked so well, even though we're bald.
Du bellezza. If you put your hand here, I can just kind of take it out as much as I want. See that? So we can make it a bit bigger.
Yeah. Hannah went to a really private school.
All-girl private school for the first 12 years. So I never had, because I was in a uniform, I never had a chance to actually find my expression. I couldn't even, paint my nails, or your hair had to be a certain way, your length of your skirt a certain way. So even when I finished those 12 years, I was only starting to find myself at, I guess you're like 17 when you leave high school. I couldn't grow my hair back, I love being bald.
It has to be very you see now it's starting to look like Hillary Clinton, like conservative, right? We were just searching so badly to erase our human features actually, and that's where the eyebrows came off, that's where the hair came off, that's where the makeup and the shoes and all of that. And funny enough, I think it was only a couple of years later when we actually realized how human that is, how human that transformation is. That craving to express yourself is probably the most human thing you can do.
My latest music video, Mother's Milk, I wrote it as a spell as an incantation of choosing yourself and creating yourself each day and giving birth to yourself each day. And I think that kind of monstrousness is actually me just holding up a mirror back to society and back to the people that made me feel like a monster, Hello.
Do you also have some inspirations from villain characters?
Oh my God, 1000%. Growing up, Ursula was my icon. Ursula was mother. And later finding out that Divine inspired the design of Ursula, it was even more iconic. There was never any plus size representation, and Ursula was that for me.
Lewis s'inscrit dans tout un héritage de figures des nuits underground, comme les New Romantics du Londres des années 1980 et les club kids new-yorkais connus dans les années 1990 pour leur look complètement libéré des normes de genre.
It was a mixture of this really gothy, but avant-garde, lots of color, blush, bold geometric shapes, but with the white pale base. They really encapsulated the feelings of shame and loneliness that I felt growing up there in such a physical, visceral way. Hi, baby.
Oh, I'll give you a hug.
Mwah. Mwah. How are you?
I'm good. I'm gonna go home.
I know. Connell just told me. Hi, George. How are you?
Hey, baby.
Mwah. Nice to see you.
You too, baby.
How are you doing?
Good.
You transform this pain and this shame into something really glorious and empowering, and it teaches your body, your nervous system, that it's safe to be celebrated, it's safe to be seen, and it's safe to be loved.
Lewis, elle dévie les matières fécales ne se voient ni comme des monstres, ni comme des aliens. Elles font de leur apparence une forme d'expression intime et artistique à part entière. Leur vision du beau étrange, parfois dérangeante, vient aujourd'hui infusée dans le mainstream. Elle repousse les limites du corps humain pour nous inciter à côtoyer notre propre étrangeté.
I don't feel like a creature. I think I'm more human than most human beings. I choose authenticity every single day. I feel the width and the breadth of what it means to be human. I experience it all through joy and grief and pain and happiness and elation and expression.